You know. Welcome to tonight's stream. Yup. Incatatus. Good to see you. You're being sassy tonight. Yes, unfortunately, I had some urgent stuff to take care of just before the stream started, so couldn't really do much about that. But fortunately, we've got a time machine, so we can fix that. It's very nice to see you here. Right. So tonight we are going to try to see if we can. Oh yes. Yes, tonight we're going to try to see if we can fix the world line and hopefully not end up sacrificing either Mayuri or Chris, but who knows? Yes. So yeah, tonight we are going to be continuing Steins and hopefully finishing it. However, I'll not be able to run very long tonight. I'll probably be able to run like the usual about 4 hours. But I do have an important thing scheduled for tomorrow, so I can't end up running late. So if we end up needing longer than at most the 4 hours here, I might have to schedule a follow-up stream. In addition to that, since I have that important business tomorrow, I can't guarantee I'll be streaming. So if I'm gonna stream, it's gonna be a spontaneous one. So if that happens, be on the lookout. I'll try to inform people a couple hours ahead if it turns into anything, but I make no promises and I make no guarantees. However, I will be back Thursday for some Monster Hunter stories too, where we'll continue to be riding hard. It's gonna be very nice. Additionally, I will also be back Friday, where we'll be continuing Monster Hunter World. So I'm looking very much forward to that. And we're gonna be doing some good hunting. We have been doing a little bit of hunting with Incatatus, but he really doesn't seem to enjoy fatty. So I might end up just having to accept that he doesn't want the gear he can get. For real though, Inky, you really should just do some pilfer runs to see if you can get some eyes. Make a set. And I'll help you. I'll help you get some head fakes if you need it for hard horns and whatnot. I will not be streaming Saturday because I have the presumption of don't tell me what to do. You're not my mom. Really? Yes, I have a presumption of games with my regular Pathfinder group this Saturday, so hopefully that's something. And then I'll be back on Dragon Sunday for some Dragon Age Origins, and I think I belonged on another mod or two to fix some stuff. I can't exactly remember, but it's possible. So yeah. yeah, that is the schedule for this week. So yeah, that's all I've got planned. So I think before we run the intro too long, we might just want to start up the game and continue where we left off. If I can find it here. Steins. If the game wants to start up. Game. Hmm. There we go. You're out of touch. It's out of time. Yes. So, last time we got to Stardust Sky. Chapter 10, which I presume is the last chapter. So, let's just get right back into it and see what we can do about this. I thought that I had found the solution, that everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I had solved nothing. Instead, I am left with a terrible choice. Mayuri or Chris. One of them must die. Radican is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look like Let me try that again. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. Watch the yellow striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I had abruptly cancelled the attempt to hack CERN. Chris and Daru demanded an explanation. I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later, I'm still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Chris was murdered. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Chris' death from CERN's database. That would return us to the Beta World line, where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend, lab member number 004, Maki's Chris, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. That world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase that email, Chris will cease to exist. And so, I'm left with two options. Option 1. Hack CERN with the IBN 5100 and erase the first email I sent, thus returning to the beta world line. Chris will disappear, but Myri will live. CERN will never build a time machine, and the future will be free. Option 2. Don't hack CERN. Keep living here on the Alpha world line. Myri will die, so will Moeka and FB. Chris will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. I mean, not immediately, but she will die, just not at the earlier point. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time, and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. Yeah, so I think you sacrificed Chris for the greater good. Quote unquote sacrifice.
どちらか選べ。だと。
Yeah. Well, look at it this way. You're fixing the mistakes you made. You were the one who sent the email that changed the world line. And then you sent more emails, or helped send more emails that further changed the world line. So fix the emails that you sent that changed the world line, which includes Chris. I was about to make an additional comment, but I don't think it is appropriate at the moment, so I'll save that one for later. Ridiculous. Joe got a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice?
こんなの選べるわけないだろ。
I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. This is why I entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Myri and Chris matter. Must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th, before this all started, I probably would not have hesitated to abandon Chris and save Myri. But it's not July 28th. It's August 15th. I spent 2 long weeks with Chris. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through time again and again, she was the person I relied on the most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis, always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Chris. It's thanks to her that I made it this far. After all, she's done for me. There's no way I can abandon her now. So save her. Nor can I let Myri die. Everything I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die.
結局どっちも選べない。選べるわけがない。
Kill Chris or kill Myri. That is what this choice comes down to.
こんな結末なのかよ。
Drive my fists into the wire fence.
鈴葉やフェイリスや ルカ子や萌えか。みんなの思いを犠牲にしてまでたどり着いたのがこんな結末なのかよ。
Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World Line, then use a time machine to travel to July 28th. Fate does have a sixth sense of humor. You are very, very, very right. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to come. Very interesting stuff. No, that won't work. The reason Suzuha led to 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia. That only occurs on this world line. On the Beta world line, she'll have no reason to leave to 2010. Suzuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright, then what if I sent Chris a warning via email? Could say, don't go to Dr. Nakabashi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Chris' death is inevitable on the Beta world line, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death.
ダメだ。
I have comments, but only because I have knowledge. So Alpha and Beta both suck. Good things are a bunch of other letters. Yeah, but how would you go about getting to those world lines? I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence.
俺は助けられない。
I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? So basically I have to create the Alpha world line, then steal Suzuha's time machine. The problem is Suzuha's time machine can't go to the Beta world line. It only exists in the Alpha world line. Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancelled Moika's email, plus I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 p.m. that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely, I understand that from all my experiences so far. But still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Chris. If I can just save them both, then I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream, if that's what it takes. So please, let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Either way, I'm just one insignificant human amongst billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. That knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Kamura runs for 3 straight days from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day, I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Kamima closes. Lead to the great Taimina. Yeah, that's a pretty good choice. I would certainly help in whichever way I could, but once again, I make no promises. It's not really my thing, though. The crowd is ridiculous, so I wait off to the side with Mayuri's bags. From time to time, Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share. Most of the day I spend alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching.
やっと帰ってこられた。
It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayuri is dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with doujinshi. These are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she gets too busy shopping. Get off the bus and just stand there for a while.
マユリはこれからどうするんだ？まっすぐ家に帰るか？
ラボに行こうと思ってたんだよ。
何か用事が？
特にないけどね。オカリンと一緒に久々にのんびりしたいなって。
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, Okarin has been kind of busy the last few days.
ちょっとお腹が空いたからね。途中でジューシー唐揚げナンバーワンを買うの。
Maybe Mayuri wants to taste of normalcy again, now that the chaos of Kamima has ended. Two adorable to exist. Don't say that, Ignis! I can't begrudge you that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders.
じゃあ帰るか。
ねえねえ、オカリン。今日はね、どうしてマユシーについてきてくれたの？これまでは一度もコミマに一緒に行ったことないよね。オカリンは萌えには興味ないもんね。
ロボットアニメには興味はある。
Not so much that I'd line up early in the morning for Kamima each year, like Daru and Mayuri do.
で、どうして今日は付き合ってくれたの？
それは。
To confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? I want her to live, remember?
それは？
気まぐれだ。
そっか。
Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces the usual smile on Mayuri's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're going to die?
ルカ子が。
I frantically tried to smooth things over.
コスプレして恥ずかしがっているところを見て笑ってやろうと思ったのだが来ていなくて残念だった。
ああ、うん。ルカ君、絶対大人気になっちゃうのにね。いろんなブログに画像アップされまくってね。新聞社のニュースサイトにも載って海外にも紹介されちゃったりするよ。
Yeah, I mean, that might give him a complex, so, yeah.
そしたらルカ君はワールドワイドなスーパースターなの。で、マユシーはそれを見て遠いところに行っちゃったなーって。 思いを馳せるのです。
本当にそうなりそうだから困る。
ねえ、オカリン。
Suddenly, Myri turns around, peeks at my face as she walks backwards.
今日はね、ありがと
なんだ、突然。
う。だってね、さっきも言ったけど、オカリンと一緒にコミマ来たの初めてだもん。マユシーは結構嬉しかったよ。
A smile finally returns to Myri's face.
でもね、次はオカリンもコスプレしてくれるともっと嬉しいかも。
Yeah, that would be quite a sight.
ああ、考えておく。
That's right. Don't think of negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
いいの？本当に？
He said he'd think about it. But Myri, he already cosplays with his emotions. Hmm.
マユリ自身もコスプレして参加するならな。
Oh, he's got her now.
それだけじゃなく、ルカこと、それとクリスティーナも呼ぼう。二人にコスプレさせるよう説得しろ。
She knows that once she gets him to think about it, she can wear down his defenses. I mean, he did make a pretty big demand of her too. She has to cosplay, and Lukiko, and Christina, which is actually just Chris, but yeah.
そこまでできたなら、真打ちとして、この俺が狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法王院京馬として、コミマに降臨しようではないか。
The next Kamima takes place this winter. We'll all be there, as if none of this ever happened. All of us laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
そっか、道は険しいね。でもね、今ちょっと想像してみたらとっても楽しそう。それにクリスちゃんはコスプレに興味津々みたいだったし、脈あるかも。マユシ、頑張ってみるね。
We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Murka going to ambush us? The previous world line I forgave Mohican and Tenochi. That has already been undone. This is a new world line. The Rounders is still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine.
マユリ、ここでちょっと待ってろ。
I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front. Then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile. But still, I want to do anything I can. Anything to give Myri a chance, however small, of surviving this world line. Something tells me this would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decide to check the streets for any suspicious people. I walk down the street towards Kuramaibashi Dori, careful to always keep Myri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction.
Huh?
I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar, but I've seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moika used to run us over on a previous world line. It's the same one Tenochi used to transport the IBN 5100. And now it's bearing down at me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road. There's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision wide. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do? I'm fine. I won't die. This world line hasn't approved that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die? Something slams into my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. Well, at least you got us out like a champ in this one. Yes, but it's still not optimal. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri.
Mayuri!
I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? That's not what I wanted. Okabe's perpetual suffering continues. Yeah, until he can fix the problems he made. Yeah, he'll continue to live in suffering. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
Okari.
Mayuri. ごめん。俺のせいで。
Her hand wanders, as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. For some reason, she smiles.
やっとマユシーは役に立てたよ。
That's some heavy stuff there, but I think you've always been useful. Without you, Ukarin couldn't have gone. Yeah, he wouldn't be around if it wasn't for you, Mayuri.
何を
Stardust handshake. The delicate fingers grasp at the sky. But all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I I've seen her die countless times. This time, it's too much. This time, it's all my fault. I embraced Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears.
な、まゆり、ここからじゃあんまり星が見えないな。こんなのあんまりだろう。
Why did you have to die like this? What personal meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen, but I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face.
やっと役に立てたって。一体どういう意味なんだよ。なあ、まゆり。
There is no future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the Beta world line, killing Chris? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. The sky is blue. I am on the roof of the Radican after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence, stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think. That's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that is no longer an option, now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time, I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the Beta world line, where CERN never creates dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. There must be some other way. According to the Jar, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent that email reporting Chris' death. I think you're right. Because I'm a little shaky on the timeline. But originally, Chaos Child. No, Chaos Head. Chaos Head was originally set in 2008. It was retconned to 2009, and then it had a follow-up. I can't remember if it was like Chaos Head Anko or whatever it was. That takes place in 2010. So stuff is already going on, and that probably like Chaos Head and Steins take place in the same universe. So weird and funky stuff is going on, and that it is probably the reason that that some of it at least takes place in 2009, 2010, being the convergence point. So when did divergence begin? Can't say for sure. I think it was the moment we completed the phone we have named Subject to Change. That was around the middle of July. Dara and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Chris was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the email that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago. But now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha World Line. On the Beta World Line, where this all began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned. The flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent that email, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of the Radican. Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of that email. I moved to the Alpha World Line after Chris died. If I had sent that email before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that email because I saw Chris' body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. Definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and sent them an email warning them off? Would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that email, I would first have to move to the Beta world line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it has failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Chris.
いたいた。
I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Chris standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face. Not now.
こんなところで何してる？
いや、よくここが分かったな。
一人になりたいって言ってたから、確率的に見てここに一番いそうっていう回を導き出した。
だったら一人にさせてくれ。わざわざ探さなくていい。俺は迷子の子供じゃない。
何よ、せっかく人が心配して探しに来たのに。いや、心配はしてないけど。
You sure are not a lost little boy, though. I mean, it certainly feels like sometimes he has. Maybe not physically lost, but he does seem mentally lost. Right after she gets herself flustered, Chris sighs and puts on a serious expression.
私だってあんたのことなんて放っておこうかと思った。ただ一昨日の岡部なんか変だったから。まあいつも変なんだけど、いつも以上にって意味で。くそまずいオートミール食べてる時みたいなしょげっぷりじゃない？何があった？
何も。
だったらなんでセルンへのクラッキングをやめたの？
お前だってクラッキングは良くないと言っていただろう。
大イーホフラグが立ってビビったんですね。わかります。
せめて順法精神に目覚めたと言ってくれ。
全然らしくないな。いつもの独善的な態度はどこ行ったのよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト法王院京馬のくせに。
独善的でなんかいられるか。
That's pretty out of character.
今回ばかりは独善的じゃいられないんだ。
I've forced my ego on others before. Susaha, Ferris, Lukaku. Sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. Oh, now she knows something's up. Oh, yes. Yes, very much so. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time, the alternatives are impossible to compare.
仲間のどちらを見殺しにするかって決断を前にして独善的でいられたら。
どちらかを見殺しってどういう意味？
なあ、クリスティーナ。俺は所詮ただの学生なんだよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法王院京馬。そんなの全部妄想だ。設定だ。気づかなかっただろ。
いや、初対面時点でなんとなく気づいてましたが。
初対面か。
What if I hadn't found Chris' body back there? Let's try imagining that situation. If I had seen Chris dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built the time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Chris would not have become our friend. Would not be as close as we are right now.
答えて岡部。どういう意味なの？
I can't meet her questioning gaze.
どうしても言わないとダメか。
散々相談に乗ってやったでしょ。今さら遠慮するな。
That's not what this is about.
だったら覚悟してくれ。これから話すのは相談じゃない。事実だ。お前にとっては死亡宣告になる。
え？
Chris' voice cracks a little.
俺は説明したよな。セルにクラッキングをすることでマユリが死ぬことのないベータ世界線へたどり着けると。
2036年のセルンのディストピアもなくなる自由な未来が待ってるバラ色の世界線。そんな風に聞こえた。
バラ色なものかよ。元凶となった最初の D メール、その内容はお前にも見せたはずだ。ベータ世界線ではそのメールの内容が実際に起きた。
Chris is a genius. I have no doubt that she understands.
ベータ世界線ではお前は7月28日に死んでいるんだ。そしてそれはアトラクターフィールド理論による収束のせいでどうしても回避できない。 マユリを救おうとするなら、俺はお前を見殺しにしないといけないんだ。
Chris says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Chris is always like this. Always calm, no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. The soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts her hand to hold it down.
ねえ、岡部。アトラクタフィールドってどこまで信憑性があると思う？
信憑性？
あれって全部ジョン・タイター、天音さんの受け売りでしょ。2036年時点ではスタンダードらしいけど、その時代の研究者たちは一体どうやってそれが正しいって証明したの？
I think it's more accurate to say it's hard to believe Okabe is older than her. Possibly.
理論が間違っていると言いたいのか。だが確かに収束は存在する。俺はそれを身をもって体験した。
収束は正しいとしても、無限個に枝分かれした世界線が重ね合わせ状態になっているっていうのは？
俺が世界線を移動すると世界は再構成される。過去から未来までだ。
それって岡部の主観での話でしょ？あんたの脳が認識してる私はベータ世界線に行くと死んでるのよね。それはつまり私が死んでいる世界線と私が死んでいない世界線のうち、あんたの主観が前者を選んだってことになるわけだけど、あんたの脳が認識する世界と私の脳が認識する世界は別物かもしれないっていう可能性はないのかな？
If you're passing this carefully, then you might be able to see a loophole. We'll get back to that later. Brains. I forgot his specialty was neuroscience.
別物って世界が分裂するということか。
分裂というか電車みたいなものなのかも。
電車？
わかりやすい例を挙げると、
Chris takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
路線図で調べてみたけど、秋葉原から横浜に行くのにどの路線を選ぶか。
お前鉄オタだったのか？
違う、例えよ例え。あんたは山手線で東京駅まで出て、そこから東海道本線に乗るのを選んだ。
Oh god, another rails fan. Chris keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary. Blah 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 blah.
でも私は山手線で大崎まで行った後、湘南新宿ラインに乗った。もしかしたら別の人、橋田なんかはそもそもいきなり秋葉原から京浜東北線に乗っちゃうかもしれない。真由里なら 東京から新幹線に乗るかも。岡部と私は東京駅までは同じ電車に乗ってるけど、そこからは違う線に乗って同じ目的地を目指している。
それを世界に当てはめると、パラレルワールドを主張するのか。
たまには私も妄想ぐらいする。でも世界が一つだと誰が証明した？
鈴葉の言葉と俺のリーディングシュタイナーが。
正体不明のタイムトラベラーと原因不明の特殊能力ね。
鈴葉は正体不明では。
彼女が橋田の娘かどうかは誰にも証明できない。2036年から来たかも、ディストピアのことも証明できない。実際に2036年にならないとね。そもそももしリーディングシュタイナーが正しいなら、あらゆる人間の記憶があんたの主観に引きずられていることになる。そんなの無理がありすぎる。もしそうだったら岡部は文字通り神よ。でも現実には神なんていない。世界はあんたを中心に回っているわけじゃない。あんたの脳がそう錯覚させているだけ。世界にとってあんたが神だというなら、同体積の脳を持つ私も世界にとって神になれるわけで。
何が言いたいんだ。
仮に岡部の主観が私が死ぬ世界線を選んだとして、私の主観も同じように私が死ぬ世界線を選ぶとは限らない。それは私の主観がここに存在していることからもわかる。すでにこの世界線は私が死なない世界線なわけだから。あんたの主観がベータ世界線に行ってしまっても、私の主観はここに留まることだってできるのかもしれない。精神はどこにあるかって話。そして私は私の精神をあんたの好きにさせたくない。
科学者とは思えないほどのファンタジーな理論だ。
でも可能性はゼロじゃない。だからあんたは何も心配する必要はない。
Chris smiles. How can she smile? I just told her she's going to die.
私を見殺しにできないって言って悩んでるのよね。でも今の私の仮説で言えば、私は別の可能性世界線で生き続けていける。だからそもそも岡部は悩む必要なんてない。
仮説は仮説だ。
アトラクタフィールド理論だって仮説。まだ誰にも何も証明されてないから。2036年時点では証明されていたとしても、その証明を今の私たちは確認できないから。そう考えれば未来の可能性は無限よ。
Chris turns back to me after finishing. Also, to be completely if you want to be literal about what she said, it's basically some like the English translation, anything is possible, is true, but it would she more tells you that the future's possibilities are endless. So yes, still basically saying that anything is possible, but like it's not the exact word she used. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could, quite obviously, render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Chris stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl.
ちなみに心配なんかしてくれなくてもいいから。岡部にそんなことされたら結構プライド傷つく。
そんな言い方。
電話鳴ってるけど。
We'll drop a quick save here.
ああ。参りからだ。
出てあげなさいよ。なんで私に遠慮してるんだ。
The ringtone cuts off during my hesitation.
めめしいな。はっきり言ってがっかり。
お前は俺に殺されてもいいっていうのか。
今の私の話聞いてなかったの？
聞いていたが。
Ringo interrupts me. I don't want to argue with Chris anymore, so I open my phone to break the conversation. From Myri. Message. Subject worried. Message. Do-do-do. Why is she here? Hey, Ocarina, is something bothering you? We've been looking kinda sad lately. Do you want to talk about it? Or is it something you can't tell Mayoshi about? That would make me feel sad. If you feel like Mayoshi is being a burden, then I want you to tell me, okay?
あいつ何が重荷だよ。勝手に自分を責めやがって。いつもは空気を読めないくせに。なんでこういう時だけ。
重荷ね。
俺は一度だって真由里を重荷に感じたことはない。
Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you, Iki. I'm getting a feeling that the power of friendship is going to fix everything. Maybe not everything, but a lot.
「だったらそれをはっきり言ってあげればいい。
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubt. Either way, I can't tell her the truth.
岡部。
Chris sighs, then glares at me.
これまでのあんたなら悩んだりしなかったはず。とりあえず真由里に会いに行くべき。あの子だっていろいろ思うところがあるんだろうし。
She's right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision and go see Mayuri. It's afternoon on the first day of Komima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay area are still packed, but at least they don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Taro, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. Try calling her home. No luck. I haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long. I saw Myri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that has made me overprotective. But I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Myri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Myri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Myri became my hostage, I periodically accompanied her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school. It's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Myri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear her voice. It's Myri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly.
ねえ、おばあちゃん。
Myri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief, she hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance away.
最近ね、怖い夢をよく見るんだ。
For a second, I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead. But no, she's just talking to herself.
その夢の中ではね、いつもマユシーはひどい目に遭うの。
Oh no! Oh no, oh no! We know what happens if you spend too much time along with reading Steiner. It's all perception. Yes, amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
「ピストルでバーンって撃たれたり、車の事故に巻き込まれたり、電車にひかれたり。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Don't tell me.
まるで本当のことみたいで、すごく痛くて、すごく悲しくて、誰か助けてって一生懸命声を出そうとするけど出せなくて。どうしてそんな夢見るのかな。
Does she remember her deaths? All of them? Is she inheriting her memories like I do?
でね、その夢の最後はいつも決まってるの。マユシーが泣いてるとね、オカリンが助けに来てくれるんだ。マユシーはオカリンにありがとう、ありがとうって言うんだけど、その声もオカリンには聞こえてなくて、オカリンはマユシーを抱きしめてとっても悲しそうな顔をしてた。泣いちゃいそうだけど絶対に泣かなくてね。でも一生懸命我慢してるのがわかるの。
Come to think of it, both Ferris and Lukiko remembered their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I used to think I was the exception with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power, and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all.
だからマユシーも悲しくなってごめんねごめんねって言うけど、やっぱり声は届かなくて、そこでいつも目が覚めるんだ。どうしてこんな夢見るのかな。
I failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Myri, or do I save Chris? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. Or can you? It's one or the other. If I choose Chris, then Myri's dream will become reality. I don't want Myri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Chris die again. Again, I thought it's the same dead end. Myri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven.
あ、そうそう。最近ラボメンがすごく増えたんだよ。クリスちゃんでしょ、萌香さん、ルカ君、フェリスちゃん、それともう引っ越しちゃっていないけどすずさん。8人だよ。すごいね。
On this world line, they all became lab mims. However, not a single one of them has sent an email. Oh wow, she's remembered Susa. I mean, yeah. You have to remember, on this world line, they still met Susa. She just, took the time machine and left. On this world line, on this world line, everyone was still invited to become lab mims. It's just none of them were allowed to send an email. On the beta world line, though, that didn't happen.
「最初はオカリンとマユシーの2人だけだったのにね。ラボができたばっかりの頃はね、オカリンはあんまり面白そうじゃなかったけど、最近はね、とっても楽しそうなんだよ。
Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she?
そんなオカリンを見てるとね、マユシーも嬉しくなってニコニコできるの。それにね、賑やかだとウキウキしてくるし、特にクリスちゃんはね、アメリカの有名な本に論文が載ったりして、とっても頭がいいんだよ。マユシーは憧れちゃうのです。タイムマシンだって作っちゃうぐらいなんだから。あ、これはオカリンとダルくんも一緒に作ってたけどね。
Then Myri falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be thinking?
でもね、たまに思うんだ。最初、マユシーが押しかけて、ラボに二人きりだった時のこと。学校が終わってラボに行くとね、オカリンはいないの。でね、お部屋の片付けしたり、可愛い小物を飾り付けたりしてるうちに、オカリンが少し遅れてやってきて、マユシーがおかえりって言うと、オカリンはただいまとは言わなくて、ご苦労って偉そうに答えてた。その後は毎日2時間ぐらい二人でぼんやり過ごして、一緒に電車でお家に帰るの。その2時間はね、会話なんてほとんどなくて、でも嫌な沈黙とかじゃなくて、ただそこにいるっていう感じで、二人で並んでソファーに座って、オカリンはラボの作戦計画書みたいなのを書いてて、マユシーは漫画読んだりゲームしたりして、たまに思い出したようにね、一緒にお菓子を食べてた。とてもゆっくり優しく時間が流れてて、それでもいいかななんて思ったり、まるでマユシーは本当に人質になっちゃったみたいだなとかふと思って、一人でえへへって笑ったり、オカリンはニコニコしてるマユシーを見てね、こういうの。
It was 4 months ago, still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time.
何かいいことでもあったのか？
いいことはなかったけど、あったよ。
そうか。幻想を見たのだな。それはもしかすると機関の幹部の一人、通称イリュージョンコンダクターからの攻撃である可能性がある。
そっか、じゃあ気をつけなきゃ。でもね、きっとそのイリュージョンコダクさんっていう人は、
コダクさんではない、コンダクターだ。
その人はきっと悪い人じゃないと思うな。
It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time.
それはマユシーにはすごく心地よくて、なんだか泣きそうなくらい嬉しくて、このままずっと続いてほしいなって思ってた。あ、今の賑やかさが嫌ってわけじゃないんだよ。
Mayuri shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking up the sky, bows her head instead.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間ちょっと減っちゃった。だからね、マユシーは寂しくなっちゃったのかもしれないね。
It's true, I haven't had time to talk to her lately. That's because I've been fighting to keep her dreams from coming true. All so that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again want to see her cry like she did on that day her grandmother died.
でもね、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a burden.
マユシーはいつも オカリンに迷惑かけてばっかりだからね、おばあちゃん。
Mayuri lifts her face once more.
いつまでもこのままじゃいられないよね。
このままでいい。
I finally speak to Mayuri. She turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a smile.
オカリンだー。あ、すごいね。どうしてここにいるってわかったの？
人質がどこにいるのか、俺は常に把握しているのだ。
人質。
だからお前は、俺の手からは逃れられん。絶対にだ。
そっか。でもね、あんまり無理したらダメだよ。マユシーはね、ちょっぴり心配なのです。
お前に心配されるほど、この法王院京馬はヤワではないのだ。マユリ、話せる時が来たら、すべて話す。だから、それまでお前は何も変わらずにいてくれ。
Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily, as well as some dango dumplings.
オカリン、帰ろう。
And yes, I know it's supposed to be pronounced dango, but like, I was in the grove.
帰る前に団子を食べるんだろ。
Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back.
もちろんだよ。
Akiba is empty again today. The otaku have all made their exodus to Kamima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daru has gone to Kamima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday, the feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there is no right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question. Who do I let die? Well, if you're using your brain a little creatively, you might be able to flip it around a little bit. It's not about who you let die. It's about who you know die. And then I'll leave the rest to the audience to think about for the time being. And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. Makes sense. Or does it? I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No. Even if there were, I know I'd never accept their choice. whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the roof of the Vatican. I had to get out of the lab. Myri or Chris might return at any moment. I can't face them now. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. Could start raining any minute now. I thought that I was alone. Someone was here before me. Chris is lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. The image of Chris in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she all right? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me.
岡部か。
生きてたか。
What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Chris did PM. She's busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. I breathe a sigh of relief.
そっか。ここだとあんたと会っちゃう可能性があること忘れて。
何をしていたんだ。
考え事。
そうか。
Was she thinking about her death? I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Chris appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Chris' fate rests on my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. I've been testing hypotheses yesterday with a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here.
邪魔になっているようだから、俺はもう行く。
うん。
Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, since when do mad scientists have manners, or something like that. Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my nose. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense and quickly. Chris hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all.
おい、雨が降ってきてるぞ。
She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about.
ってうわっ
Raindrops keep falling on my head. But that doesn't mean my friends will soon be turning dead. Everything is red. From the scene I fled. In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter. Patch, 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 patch. Yes, yes. That is also a clue if you want to give it some thought. Chris' scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain.
びっくり。
夕立を甘く見たな。
Yeah, it doesn't only rain on the 16th, does it? I don't recall, but that is not the important part. That was not actually the part that that was a clue. Hmm. 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 My was it that Chris was surprised at rain? No. No. If you actually want to know what the clue was, it was in my lyrics. Whoa. Hmm. Yes. I gave a little clue earlier, and then I gave a little clue in my lyrics. Maybe you can try to put them together. You can try to ponder those orbs. Now, safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine disappeared, but Redican is still closed. Lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside. Turning red isn't Doppler shifting. No. That was not actually the clue I was giving. Very nice thought, but no. I mean, I'm thinking the key is from the scene I thought. Possibly. I mean, in a roundabout way, you might be correct, Inky. In a roundabout way, but no, that was not actually the clue I was giving.
もっと早く忠告してよ。おかげで下着までびしょ濡れじゃない。
Oh my. Thank you for that information, Chris.
右に同じく。この暗さに助けられたな、助手よ。
どういう意味？
Welcome has that effect on people. Yes.
もしラジカンが営業していたら、今頃お前のあられもない姿が多くの人間の前にあらわにされていただろう。
Even in the dim light, I can tell that Chris is scrambling to cover her chest.
あんたも変態だってこと忘れてた。
自分から下着までびしょ濡れだと申告しておいてよく言う。
これ以上口聞かないで。下着の色とかよくも妄想したな。許さないから。
妄想などしてない。
She's too self-conscious. But the color of her underwear, huh? Gotta be white.
冷えるか？
だから脱いで乾かせってふざけないで。変態の手に引っかかるもんか。
誰もそんなこと言ってないだろう。少し落ち着け。ま、たとえ服を脱いだとしてもこの暗さだから案ずることはない。お前の貧相なヌード姿は誰にも見られることは。
Okay. That was uncalled for. I am like okay, presenting his own death warrant, yeah? Oh, Chris, you're not doing a good job of presenting you don't want this. Yeah. But yes, so yes, Ogabek kind of did hint that he thinks her figure is scrawny, but he was, if I'm remembering correctly, he was specifically referencing a certain part of her being a scrawny. Is there a thing in my glass? It'd be very annoying if it was.
それ以上喋るとあんたの大脳新皮質をポン酢につけて高級料亭で提供してやるんだから。
すまん。
Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction.
夕立ならすぐに止むわよね。それまで待つか。
Sounds like a Yini threat. I mean, I never threaten myself. I don't think I've ever made a threat like that either. But at the very least, I would not eat it with fava beans and a Chianti, because a Chianti would not go well with that. If I remember correctly, they actually changed it for the movie. In the books, it's not a Chianti, because in the books they actually know what wine goes well with is it liver and fava beans. So they changed it to Chianti for the movie. Eat the brain the way it was meant to be eaten, unseasoned and with a big old glass of my lord. Let me at least have salt. Possibly a spoon. I don't want to try to fish out the brain with a glass of Malloy. That's... It's just gonna turn into a mess. She keeps going. I see Chris' shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
なんで横に
I might save that for something. I'm not sure what it is you need to save, Ignis, but I hope you get good use out of it.
なんで
喋るなと言ったのはお前だ、クリスティーナ。
I bet I know.
あんまり近くに来ないでよ。今ぐらいの距離が限界だから。これ以上離れるとは言わないけど、これ以上近づいたら押し返すからな。
Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Chris will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. I can see Chris more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
こっち見んな。
バカな！この暗さでは俺がどこを見ているかなどわからないはず。
Does she have infravision?
やっぱり見てたのか？
Damn, she used leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Chris and take off my lab coat. That's when I notice my coat is torn at the shoulder.
屋上から避難した時にどこかに引っ掛けたか？
何の話？
いや、上着の肩口が破れかけていた。
岡部ってドジっ子だったの？
俺はマッドサイエンティスト属性であってドジっ子属性など持っていない。
Seems like forever since I've talked to Chris as Ho in Kyoma.
はいはい。
Chris suddenly holds out her hand.
ほら、貸しなさいよ。
何？
ちょうどソーイングセット持ってるから縫ってやると言っている。
ソーイングセットだと？お前が？
悪いか。
I'm not certain I'd call that insanity a curse, judging by all the friends it's netted him. I mean, he might have more friends if he wasn't, but who's to say? I mean, he definitely got some very close friends because of it. I mean, you can still have friends even if you're a chuny. But I think it's more than just him being a chuny that actually got him friends. I hand over my coat as asked.
実験大好きっ子のくせにそんな家庭的なものを？
実験大好きっ子であると同時に家庭的な女の子かもしれないじゃない。
家庭的な女の子なのか？
相対的に見れば家庭的かもね。と言っても日本の女子高生の家庭的女の子指数がどれくらいか知らないけど。
There's an index for that. First I've heard of it. Chris skillfully threads the needle despite the darkness.
濡れてるから針が通りにくいな。
本当に偶然持っていたのか？
しつこい。そんなに私がソーイングセット持ってたら悪いの？
悪いとは言っていないが、まるで狙ったかのようだったからな。
つまりあんたが服を破ってしまうのを見越してあらかじめ用意していたって言ってもらいたいんですね。わかります。そんなわけあるか。それと勘違いしないでほしいんだけど、別に好きで縫ってあげてるわけじゃないんだからね。
出たな、ツンデレセリフ。
茶化すな。あんたが偶然服を破って、私は偶然ソーイングセットを持っていた。だから縫ってあげている。それだけ。
偶然ね。
Coincidence.
まさかお前タイムリープしているということはないよな。
つまりあんたが服を破ってしまったからタイムリープして事前にソーイングセットを用意したって言ってもらいたいんですね。わかります。そんなわけあるか、そんなわけあるか。大事なことなので2回言いました。アンダースタン？
確かにわざわざタイムリープして対策を練るならばソーイングセットではなくタオルを用意しておくのが先だからな。
何それ、皮肉？文句ばっかり。
After working for a while, Chris cuts the string with her teeth and hands me back my coat.
ほら。
ありがとう。
Do you understand? Yes.
うん。 出来については暗くて確認できないけど、もし仮に出来が悪くても私の腕のせいじゃない。この暗さのせいよ、きっと。ちなみに糸の色についても何が出るかお楽しみに。
色もランダムなのか。
黒か赤かピンク、確率は3分の1。
せめてピンクが出ないように祈ろう。寒いか？
まあね。
俺の上着を羽織るか？
それだって濡れてるでしょ。
まあそうだが。
Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter. But 1 second of silence, and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. So desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what?
結論は出た？
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairway. I look at Chris. She's sucking her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer.
まだ悩んでるの？あんたってまゆりのこと好きなんでしょ？
何？
Where did that come from? Chris keeps staring into the darkness.
ただの錯覚かもしれないけど、私の心の中に奇妙な記憶というかデジャブみたいなものがある。そこではあんたはまゆりを助けようと必死になってて、一人で傷つきながらそれでも前に突き進もうとしてるの。
Chris too.
そんな岡部が私に相談をしてきて、そのひたむきに頑張ってる姿を見て、私も力になってあげたいと思ったり。って別にあんたを助けたいって思ったわけじゃないからな。私はあくまでまゆりを助けたいだけであって。とにかく私にはなぜかそんな錯覚が記憶のように残ってる。
So Chris the same. She still has faint memories from previous world lines.
自己分析してみたけど、夢で見たものを現実と思い込んでるのか、単なる願望か、それぐらいの結論しか出なかった。ただこれだけははっきりしてる。あんたはまゆりを助けるべきなのよ。
怖くないのか？
To save Myri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Chris will die.
なんだか廃墟に迷い込んだみたい。
Chris suddenly changed the subject. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
まるで世界中の電源が切られて、私たちだけ取り残されたみたい。ふと思うんだ。もしあんたがベータ世界線に行ったとする。みんなも一斉にそっちに移動するとしたら、私だけは移動できない。 私だけが取り残される。そうしたら世界中がこの場所みたいになっちゃうのかな。所詮これも仮説の一つだけど。
Stupid fly. Gotcha.
俺は
I need to say it.
お前も救う。マユリだけじゃなくてお前も。
できもしないこと言わなくていい。
Chris cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
怖くないかってさっき聞いた。怖いに決まってるでしょ。自分が消えるかもしれない。自分だけが取り残されるかもしれない。あるいはあんただけがこの世界線からいなくなるかもしれない。誰もあんたがいなくなったことを認識してない世界がずっと続いていって、私は何事もなかったかのようにアメリカに帰るかもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。そんないろんな可能性を考えて、その度に絶望的な気分になる。でも
Chris raises her head and spears me with a glare.
だからマユリを見殺しにしろなんて言えると思
クリス。
う？もうなんか寒いな。
Chris grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
濡れてる服着てる青年。たくダメだ。こんなの全然論理的じゃない。仮説にすらなってない。全部根拠のない妄想。こんなしょうもない妄想を垂れ流す脳の機能をカットしてやりたい。
Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Chris has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought she was facing this calmly too. But I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it has finally come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's just an 18-year-old girl. Chris abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pounding on the roof.
聞いて、岡部。両方救うのは無理。そうでしょ。
Is it?
どうあがいたって確率は2分の1なの。
だが
だがじゃない。私の結論は変わらない。マユリを助けて。
I hear the pain in her voice, and also the resolve. Chris has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hand.
そう簡単に諦めろっていうのか。そんなのできるはずがないだろう。
できるかできないかじゃない。あんたをやらなくちゃいけない。それしか。
ダメだ。お前は俺たちの大切な仲間だ。俺はお前も見捨てない。
岡部。
Chris drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
他に解決策があるの？ないんでしょ。私はマユリを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくない。もしマユリを助けなかったらあんたを一生恨むから。
This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Chris to speak these words when she's the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Chris as she holds me by the collar. Tightly embrace her slender body. Clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being.
お前はここにいるのにこんなのあんまりだ。
Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
ありがとう。私のためにそこまで苦しんでくれて。でももう十分。私は大丈夫だから。あとはマユリのことだけ考えて。
It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide, here and now, the future of the world. Which friend to let die. Holding Chris tightly, I whisper into her ear.
すまない。
A meaningless apology.
俺はマユリだけはどうしても救いたいから。
These words are a death sentence, but I force myself to speak them. It takes every ounce of willpower I possess.
お前を助けられない。
When I finish, I feel as if a great weight has left my shoulders. And at the same time, as if 1,000 needles are stabbed into my heart. Chris weakly returns my embrace. Then she lets go and stands up.
さてと。
There's already a look of relief on her face.
先に帰る。
帰るってどこへ？
To America?
ラボに決まってるでしょ。服を乾かさないと。シャワーも浴びたいし。
In that case, we should go back together. But before I can suggest it, Chris beats me to the punch as if she read my mind.
あんたはそこでずぶ濡れのまましばらく待ってて。わかった？
We can't go back together. That's her verdict.
わかった。
I hang my head and shut my eyes. Chris' footprints fade into the distance. I wrap my arms around my body. Even though it's summer and sweltering hot, I can't stop my body from shaking. I realize that part of me is relieved that Chris left alone. At least I won't have to face her again, to look upon the face of the girl I chose to die. I'm a coward. My self-loathing echoes in the dark. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Chris is already gone when I get there. From assistant. Message. Subject, see you. Message. Cease to inquire what the future has in store. Take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. Horace, Italian philosopher. Going back to my hotel. Do what needs to be done. Good night. All she left is a single email. I sat down on the sofa while drying my hair with a towel. I looked towards the PC in the corner of the room. I mean, he was quote-unquote Italian, at least. Yeah, was Horace like Sicilian? Like, was he from the kingdom of the two Sicilies, or? Oh, so or was he from one of the other warring states? Roman. I mean, if he was from figures, yeah. I mean, if he was from that part of Italy, then I guess yeah he would be quote unquote Italian. But yeah, I would probably have said Roman instead. And he was more of a poet than a philosopher. I mean, they are not mutually exclusive, but fair cut. Maybe in this world line, Horace was an Italian philosopher. Wouldn't that be something? Could be. Yeah. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Daru to start hacking. I already got in touch with him. The hacking starts tomorrow at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Daru. Now I can't turn back, no matter how much I want to. I chose Myri. I will let Chris die. Showering didn't soften the retching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Chris' resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder, is this really okay? Also, it's the neuroscience who calls Horace an Italian philosopher, so she might just be more into science than the arts. Really?
誰かいますか？
Myri opens the door and enters. For a moment after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears. See, I still really don't like this mirror image because in this view the pig is looking away from the window towards stuff here, and then the reflection on the window it's looking through the window. That quickly gives way to a smile.
オカリンだ。
どうした？
ううん、なんとなく来てみたの。
I swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Myri, but I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Myri doesn't need to know. No, but she deserves to know. Myri is much smarter than you give her credit for. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the Beta World line.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間ちょっと減っちゃった。でもね、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Chris is sacrificing for her sake?
もしかしてシャワー浴びてたの？
Mayuri moves behind the sofa, wraps the bath towel on my head, starts rubbing my hair dry.
オカリン、シャンプーのいい匂いがするね。
I didn't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose in my hair and starts sniffing. Gun, 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 gun.
やめんか。
I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair.
今日ね、コミマ行かなかったよ。
Oh yeah, and Katatas with the big sniff.
なぜだ？
オカリンのこと気になっちゃったのです。オカリンの辛そうな顔を思い出したらね、コミマを楽しんでなんかいられないなって。だから有明まで行ったけど参加せずに帰ってきたの。
そうか。悪かったな。
Should I tell her? Should I keep her in the dark?
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間ちょっと減っちゃった。だからね、マユシーは寂しくなっちゃったのかもしれないね。
マユリ、もし俺がお前に隠し事をしてるって言ったらどう思う？
実はオカリンとクリスちゃんは付き合っていますっていうびっくりなこと？
I ship it.
なぜそうなる？
でもね、オカリンとクリスちゃんはとっても仲がいいでしょ。二人はお似合いだと思うな。
Yeah, I agree with you there.
そんな話をしているんじゃないんだ。
ああ、うん。全部話してほしいなんて思ってないよ。人質だからね。どっちかっていうと何にも教えてもらえないのが普通だもん。
そんな話をしているんじゃないんだ。
Mayuri's hand leaves my head. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I meant to.
マユシーはオカリンの重荷にはなりたくないよ。
Again.
だからオカリンが言ってくれるまで待つの。昨日もそう言ったよ。
一生言わないかもしれないぞ。
それはね、とっても気になっちゃうけど、でもしょうがないかな。
その隠していることがお前に関係していることでも。
マユシーに？
俺はお前を傷つけたくなくて話さないでいるんだ。
そのせいでオカリンは辛い顔してるのかな。だったらね、話してほしいな。オカリンが辛そうなの見たくないもん。
それでお前は傷ついてもいいっていうのか。
Mayuri replies with a gentle smile. She nods without any hesitation. The smile is so sincere it strikes me speechless.
昨日もさっきも言ったよ。 マユシーはオカリンの重荷になりたくないって。マユシーがおばあちゃんのことで苦しかった時、オカリンはマユシーを人質にしてくれたでしょ。だからね、もしオカリンが苦しい時はマユシーが力になってあげたいってずっと思ってたんだよ。
Okabe, bro, stop her from saying that this instant.
マユシーなんかじゃちっとも役に立たないかもしれないけど、
Useful. Suddenly, I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me. The last words were.
やっとマユシーは役に立てたよ。
So this is what she meant.
だからね、
わかった。
If that's how she feels, I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me.
ここに座るんだ。
Mayuri does as she's told.
おやつ持ってきていい？
お前は空気が読めないな。
そうだね。
Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap.
じゃあどうぞ。
これから話すことは全部事実だ。お前が見た夢とも関係している。そして俺はこの後お前のために仲間を犠牲にするつもりだ。
オカリン。
Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and take her chin in my fingers. The switch has already flipped inside of me.
せいぜい後悔するがいい。この俺、狂気のマッドサイエンティストである法王院京馬が行ってきた恐るべき所業の数々を聞いてな。
And so I began, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. Start with the first raid on the lab. I tell Mayuri how Morika killed her. Next, I tell her about Tusa and Ferris, about Lukaku, Morika, FB, and Nai. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally, I tell her about Chris.
すなわちマキセ・クリスを生贄として俺は新たなる世界へと旅立つのだ。
There was a lot to explain. Mayuri kept asking questions, desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late.
以上がこの俺法王院京馬が考えた壮大なる計画、その名もメイドインヘブンである。
Finally, it's over. Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second.
なぜそんな顔をしている。
Mayuri shakes her head and bites her lip.
オカリンもクリスちゃんも苦しんでたんだね。 なのにマユシーはのんきにコスを作ってた。こんなのバカみたいだよ。マユシーは何にも知らなかった。
Yes.
お前が責任を感じる必要はないのだ。全てはこの俺による計画なのだからな。
Give me 1 second.
幻滅したか、マユリ。だが俺は仲間を平気で犠牲にできる男。故にお前がベータ世界線に行きたくないと言ってもそれを聞き入れるつもりはない。お前には俺の人質として絶対に最後まで付き合ってもらうぞ。世界に訪れる混沌、これこそがシュタインズゲートの選択なのだ。
Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets to her feet and lurches towards the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist.
おい、どこ行く？
クリスチャンに会いに行かなきゃ。ねえオカリ、クリスチャンに会いたいよ。
There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request. I contacted Chris. We arranged to meet at the UPX Overpass at 4:30 in the morning. I was wondering why she wanted to meet so early, but I understand once I see her. She's dragging a large suitcase.
お見送りご苦労。
She faces us with a smile.
そのスーツケース、まさか。
ああ、そういうことよ。
帰るのか、アメリカに。
Chris nods.
もともと8月の頭には帰る予定だったんだけど、どっかのマッドサイエンティストに捕まって予定より長めの滞在になっちゃった。もう私が手伝えることもないだろうし、後腐れなくって意味でもいいでしょ。
Is she doing this for me? Was she trying to outrun her fear? It's not my right to stop her. Even if I did, it wouldn't change anything. Today, as planned, I will crack Stern's database and move to the Beta World line. I've made my choice. Mayuri is next to me, standing still with her head hung.
マユリ、どうしたの？具合悪いの？
I gently nudge her back.
ほら、マユリ。
She takes one step, pauses for a second, then leaps on Chris with a cry.
クリスチ
どうしたの？いきなり。
ャン、マユシーはね、クリスチャンがいなくなるのやだよ。
Chris hears the desperate plea in Mayuri's voice. She gives me a look that asks, "Did you tell her?" I silently nod.
マユシーのためなんかに消えたりしないでね。
マユリ、お前。
マユシーだってクリスチャンを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくないよ。
I expected Myri might say that. It's absolutely essential that I remain firm. I feel bad for Chris, but it needs to be said.
それは許されない。俺はマユリを選んだのだ。マユリには救われる義務があるのだ。
Pain stabs through my heart. His words are reprehensible.
クリスはお前のために命を投げ出すという契約をこの俺と交わした。それを保護にすれば最悪がこの地を襲うだろう。
Clench my fists tight to suppress my self-loathing.
クリスの思いを無駄にするな、マユリ。
でも
ありがとう、マユリ。
Chris wraps her arms around Myri's back, returning the hug.
でも私はもう自分の中で結論を出したし、納得もしてるから。知ってる？あんたって岡部にものすごい愛されてるって。
何を言い出すのだ。
事実でしょ。
She gives me a mischievous smile.
だからマユリが死んだら岡部はすごく悲しむ。岡部にそんな思いさせたくないでしょ。
でもクリスちゃんがいなくなったらマユシーは悲しいよ。
そうね。会えなくなると寂しいかな。でもどうせ私は生きてたってアメリカに帰るつもりだったわけだし。だから別の世界線に行っても私はアメリカにいるものだと思えばそう大した違いはない。そういう問題
じゃないもん。クリスちゃんが消えちゃうのが嫌なんだもん。ねえ、やめよう。クリスちゃんが消えることないよ。
Chris separates from Myri and gazes straight into her face.
これ以上私や岡部を困らせたらダメ。
She uses a gentle tone as if speaking to a child. Then she lightly bumps Myri on the forehead.
岡部、もうマユリの手を離しちゃダメよ。
分かってる。
それじゃあ私は行くから。もう二度と岡部の顔見なくて済むと思うとせいせいするわ。
She punctuates her insult with a smile. She's so cheerful now, a far cry from the shivering girl in the dark. To see her like this breaks my heart. I'm sorry. I repeat the words in my heart again and again, begging for forgiveness. Chris turns to go.
クリスちゃん、行かないで。行かないでよ。
ついてこないで。
She shouts over her shoulder. Myri freezes.
同情なんてしないで。惨めになるだけだから。これは私が決めたことなの。マユリに何を言われたってもう揺るがない。さよならマユリ。約束よ。あんたは幸せになりなさい。
With that, Chris walks away. Early morning Akihabara, well before sunrise. The trains are just starting to run. She disappears into the station, dragging her suitcase behind her, alone. Myri falls to her knees, her face streaked with tears. As I approach, I hear her voice.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ご
お前が謝る必要はない。すべてはこの俺の決断だ。クリスには消えてもらう。俺はクリスを助けない。そして世界には俺が望む混沌が訪れるのだ。俺が許せないか、マユリ。ならば恨めばいい。だがそれでもお前には最後まで付き合ってもらう。俺はお前を救うためにクリスを見殺しにする。だからお前がどれだけ俺を恨もうと、俺の意見に反対しようと、もう後戻りするつもりはない。俺の野望は誰にも止められない。
Mayuri slowly stands up. Then she buries her face into my chest, just like she did to Chris.
オカリンの本当の気持ち聞きたいよ。
How I really feel. Mayuri looks straight up into my eyes.
オカリンが心の中で思ってることは素直な言葉で聞きたいよ。マユシーはね、もう重荷になりたくないから。
なってねえよ。なってるわけないだろう。これは俺のエゴだ。俺がお前を助けたいだけだ。お前を失いたくないだけだ。
ありがとう、オカリ。ありがとう。
Mayuri tries her hardest to smile through her tears. And then, once again, she buries her face into my chest.
いつも見てた怖い夢もそこに出てくるかっこいいオカリンもきっと夢なんかじゃなかったんだね。ずっとマユシーを助けようとしてくれてたんだね。ねえオカリン、マユシーはね、オカリン大好きだよ。
Oh,
オカリンがいてくれるからマユシーは毎日笑っていられるんだよ。これからもずっと一緒にいていい？
当たり前だ。
I answer Mayuri with my embrace.
そんなの当たり前。一緒にいてくれないと。
あのね、マユシーは幸せになるよ。クリスちゃんと約束したから。
ああ、
幸せにしてください。
あ
離さないでください。
あ
ずっと大好きでいさせてください。
あ
The radiance of this rising sun pours out between the buildings. Oh god, she's gonna die. I mean, in this world line, she's gonna die later today. So, daybreak. Don't you dare curse console. Don't you bring that evil into this. As the sky grows brighter, we remain in our embrace, as if to reassure each other that we are still here.
それではこれよりオペレーションベルダンディ最終フェーズを開始する。
Mairi and Daru turn to me and nod. Today is the last day of Kamima. Daru wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. Take a look around the lab. These 20 days have seen constant change. It's incredible to think that at one point, this lab had a whole 8 members. And now we're back to 3. The memories we made, the experiences we shared. To save Mairi, I will undo them all. There is sorrow in me, and guilt. I engrave them deep in my heart. I'll never forget, I mustn't forget, these long yet short summer days. But still, I choose to erase our memories. I choose to return everything to normal. Suzuha's mission is relevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mairi lives, nothing else matters.
ダル、始めてくれ。
いいんだな。
ああ。
オキドキ。
Daru starts typing on the IBM 5100. It's already connected to his main computer. This will get us into CERN's central database, where they keep the data they mine with Echelon. There, we will locate the first email I sent on July 28th, and erase all traces of its existence. With this, I can reach the Beta world line. At last, Mairi will be safe. I look at Mairi. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod with her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear. She stays still with her eyes closed. Whenever Mairi wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Ever since we parted with Chris, Mairi has said nothing about my choice. I guess she's come to terms with it in her own way. The actual work I have left to Daru. No problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walk into the development room. In the center of the room is the time leap machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I've made irreplaceable friends because of this thing, and because of this thing, I've hurt them. But I don't want to blame the tool. It's how you use it that matters. And I've got to admit, it saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the time leap machine. I must never make the same mistakes again.
オカリン、見つけた。マジであったぞこれ。
Well, if you change the past so that supposedly Chris dies, then the time leap machine will never be made because Chris isn't around to make it.
あったのか。 俺が送った D メールが。
しっかり残ってるよ。
Daru points to a string of characters. My name is there, followed by the message I wrote about Chris' death. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. This data led Stern to our doorstep. At FP's instruction, Moeka and the Rounders attacked. If Suzuha is right, then by erasing this data, we'll escape from the Attractor Field Alpha, where Stern dominates the future. That'll take us to Attractor Field Beta, to the Beta world line within its range of convergence, to a future without Mayuri's death. Mayuri is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly.
おかり。
大丈夫だ。
She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down.
エンターキーを押せばデータは消せるようになってる。
Daru stands up and gestures to the open seat.
その儀式はオカリンに譲るわ。
I sit down and face the keyboard. This time it ends. Chris' face floats through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Chris. I slowly raise my right hand and extend my index finger.
勝利の時は来た。
Daru twitches at my cry.
この俺はあらゆる陰謀にも屈せず己の信念を貫きついにラグナロックを戦い抜いたのだ。この勝利のため我が手足となって戦ってくれた仲間たちに感謝を。
One press of this key, and Chris will die. Firmly grip my coat at the shoulder, where it's been stitched together with jacket pink thread.
訪れるのは俺が望んだ世界なり。
I wished for Mayuri to live and Chris to die. That is the truth, and I must never forget it.
すべてはシュタインズゲートの選択である。
This is the choice of Okaberinto.
エルプサイコングルー世界は再構成される。
I swing down my finger. Strike the enter key. We crossed the 1% mark. After a while. There it is. Yep, boy. Back into the beta world line. After a while, the spinning stops and color gradually returns to the world. Reading Steiner activated. The world line has changed. I look around the room. Now we aim for 2% and see who dies in that world. I think I can't remember if that is that's canon. I think there's a movie about that. Can't remember if that's like Steins Gamma, possibly. You could always go watch the movie. Next to me is Daru. Behind me is Mayuri. I reach out to her. She takes my hand with a smile. Everything is where it should be. It looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat shoulder where Chris fixed the torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, uneven from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head to the development room. Underneath the table, the time leap machine. No, that's not the time leap machine. That's the phone wave name subject to change. The upgrades Chris made are gone. Nothing has changed. This world is exactly the same. In all respects, save one. Chris was never here. I thought that I was prepared for this. But now that I'm face to face with the cruel consequence of my decision, I feel powerless, defeated. I want to cry.
オカリン、どうしたの？
Mayuri runs up and grabs my arm.
なあ、まゆり。
なに
ラボメンナンバー004は誰だっけ？
I need to ask. Even though I know what the answer will be.
004？ オカリン、ラボメンはね、オカリンとマユシーとダルくんの3人しかいないよ。
The tears come. I crumble to my knees. Cover my face with my hands.
そうだな。このラボに4人目のラボメンなんていなかったよ。
Her existence was rejected by the world.
オカリン、何か悲しいことがあったんだね。
Mayuri rubs my back.
マユシーはね、オカリンの力になってあげたいよ。
I embrace Mayuri. I stifle my voice and cry.
オカリン、泣かないで。
まゆりはどこにも行かないでくれ。ずっとそばにいてくれ。頼むよ。
Mayuri tenderly strokes my head.
マユシーはずっと一緒だよ。これまでみたいにずっと。
All trace of Chris' existence has vanished. This proves that I have returned to my original world line. This is the world I struggled to reach. The world Suzu had traveled through time to create. A world where the future is free. Nothing has changed, and yet this is my utopia. Just no true ending, I guess. I mean, I didn't look up a guide for the true ending. I don't know if we get an option to look at stuff after we get the credits. Maybe we get something after the credits, maybe we don't. But yes, this would not be the true ending. Man, this game hit me in the feels way more than I expected to when I started. Yeah, it's got a lot. Five powered end games. We reached the Myri ending. The night of the 17th passed, the night of the 18th passed, and Myri still didn't die. I've kept a close watch for 3 days since then. There have been no attacks, no accidents, no sign that anything might happen. That was enough to convince me that Myri is safe. Together with Daru, I destroyed the phone wave and the IBN 5100. Although we have lost the ability to send emails, that is a small price to pay to stay below Cern's radar. Zenoti is downstairs in the brown tube workshops, watching the 42-inch CRT like always. When I went to check out Radicam, I found it open for business as usual. A search of the internet turned up no mention of a satellite crash. Instead, I found a small article on the local section of a newspaper dated July 28th. It was a report on Chris' murder. There was no follow-up. The culprit is still at large. According to Daru, police questioned me several times. It was I who discovered the body after all. Of course, I don't remember any of that. At any rate, Myri is still alive. I've accomplished what I set out to do. It's over. Myri emerges from the ticket crate, waving her hand as she runs my way. She weaves through the gaps between the shoppers and maids, handing out leaflets, and then she gets to me. She looks at me with puppy dog eyes.
Naze naku?
Myri doesn't answer me. She just strokes my cheek, gently, silently. She's crying, but she doesn't seem sad. Rather, she seems overcome with emotion.
おかり、迎えに来てくれたんだね。マユシーのこと、わざわざ待っててくれるなんて。嬉しいよ。
そんなことでいちいち喜ぶな。
Myri wipes away her tears, making room for her shy, innocent smile.
あのね、マユシーはオカリンの人質から恋人にクラスチェンジしたんだよね。
Way too damn cute. Yes.
いかにも。
I have no idea how to respond to such an embarrassing question. She's right. Myri and I are officially a couple. After these long, painful 20 days, I finally noticed how important Myri is to me. Plus, she told me that she loved me.
よかった。夢じゃないんだ。
いいから、さっさとラボに行くぞ。こんな草暑いところに立っていたら、日射病で死ぬ。
Now Okap is the one class changing to a hostage. in a manner of speaking. I don't think Myri is going to do much. I started walking without waiting for Myri's response.
でもね、ラボだってすっごく暑いよ。
扇風機があるだけマシだ。それに喉が渇いた。ドクターペッパーで一服したい。
It's Sunday. Despite the heat, I see plenty of shoppers laden with bags enjoying themselves in the streets of Akiba. Easy case of Stockholm Syndrome, yeah? Except the Stockholm Syndrome is not actually real. I suddenly feel a void in my heart. Nothing about this town has changed. Yet it feels like something is missing from my life. No doubt it's the gap that was left by Chris. That there's no such thing as a perfect future. That is a fantasy that nobody can realize. I mustn't forget. This is the future I wished for, fought for, and won. I have what is most important to me, Myri. I should be thankful for that. I am blessed far beyond the common man. I look beside me and realize that Myri is not there. I turn around. She's not there either.
Myri?
She's gone. She's always like this. Sometimes she just wanders off. And tired she seizes my heart. Myri promised she would never leave me. This world line is worthless without her.
Myri!
I shout her name at the top of my lungs. I search for her in the crowd, but it's too thick to see.
Myri!
ここにいるよ。
Turn around to see Myri running towards me. In her hands is shaved ice.
オカリン、暑いって言ってたでしょ。だからね、一緒に食べようと思って。
驚かせるなよ。
I feel so relieved. I want to embrace that small body of hers, but we're in public, so I stop myself. Take the shaved ice and hold my empty hand out to Myri.
捕まっていろ。
Myri takes my hand. Her slender fingers intertwine with mine.
かき氷はラボまでお預けだ。路上で食べたら迷惑だろう。
でもね、溶けちゃうんじゃないかな。
しょうがないだろう。
そっか。しょうがないよね。手をつないでたら食べられないもんね。
離さないぞ。俺は絶対に離さないからな。
マユシーだってね、離さないよ。
Myri puts just a little more strength into her grip. Love for her fills my heart. Suddenly Myri looks up at Radican.
ねえねえ、オカリン。
Diabetes.
あのね、起きているのに夢を見たことってある？
夢？それは白チュームというやつか。
Uh-oh.
そういう風に呼ぶの、オカリン物知りだね。あのね、それが誰だかはわからないんだけど、マユシーにはとても大切なお友達がいた気がするの。
何？
その大切なお友達のことを考えるとね、すごく切なくなって胸のあたりがキューってなるんだ。たまにね、声も聞こえるんだよ。
声って？
幸せになりなさいって。
All of that was undone. I erased those memories, sacrificed them.
その人がそう言ってくれたからね。マユシーは今こうしてオカリンと一緒にいられるのかもしれないね。
Perhaps everybody remembers their experiences from other worldlines. Those memories may be vague and tenuous, but they're there. They speak to us in the form of dreams, visions, and déjà vu.
もし会えたらありがとうって言いたいな。
I'm not the only one who remembers.
その人誰だったのかな。
きっと神様だ。
そっか、神様ありがとう。マユシーはとっても幸せです。
Fiery looks up. She reaches out to the sky like always. She shakes hand with the stardust, twinkling beyond the coat of blue. I look up too, to hold back the tears. And on we walk, hand in hand. What happened to the shaved ice? Stardust sky complete. Huh. Okay. So yeah, it looked like we managed to finish that chapter. Very interesting. Okay, so it looks like we could try to rush through and get the secret ending or the true ending, whichever one you want to call it. If that's a thing we want to. I've got about an hour if we want to try to grab the secret ending. Otherwise, we might come back on a different day and do the secret ending, but roll two endings if we believe hard enough. Oh, that's true. That's also why it's called like the secret ending. So the real question is, up to you. I kinda assume the true ending will take longer than an hour. I mean, the thing is, it might take longer than an hour, but it also might not. So you seem railroaded for pretty much that whole chapter. Yes, if we want the true ending, I'll just like blast through all of the chapters until we get to the last point. But yeah, I suppose we can do a another stream where we just get the remaining endings. Ending is plural. Oh my. Hello, Jalapeno Man. Might be the better way to do it if you only have an hour. Yeah. I mean, okay, I can look through things here real quick so I can see like I've got the alternate ending one. That's the one from chapter 6. That's the Suzuha ending. Then we have the chapter 2 ending. The old ending 2, that's from chapter 7. Then we have the old ending 3, that's from chapter 8. And then we've got chapter 9. And then there is chapter 10. In which I think we got alternate ending 5. I think we got alternate ending 5, which is the Mayuri one. There's a Moeka ending after all. Moeka. No, Moeka was chapter 9, right? There's no Moeka ending. There's no secret ending in chapter 9. But in chapter 10, there are 3 endings. The alternate ending 4, the alternate ending 5, and the secret ending. So there's not a chapter 9 ending. No, not according to this list. So what I think we got alternate ending 5 because we got to chapter 10 without replying to any of the without getting any of the special endings or getting any of the special messages to reply in the other chapters. I think. The true Moeka ending was the one where Naya stabs her. But yeah, I think we got the alternate ending 5. Blah 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 blah. So yes, I think we got the Myri ending because we didn't do any of the other stuff. So yes, yeah, we can. You know what? No, we will not. We will just we will load here. Can we quick load? You know what? What we'll do? We'll start a new one here.
全てはグ
ねえねえ、何ブツブツ言ってるの？
We will drop a proper save here. Just because that way we definitely know that we've hard saved and we won't lose any of the progress here. So we'll end it there. And it was a proper hard save. Yes. Cool. Because then I think if I have let's just swap back here to the main screen. Because then if I have some if I have the energy to stream tomorrow, maybe I'll just maybe I'll do spontaneous finishing of the last endings that we're missing. I'm thinking maybe we'll do that one tomorrow if I have the energy. Sometime. Yeah. I mean, I'm still not making any promise that I'll do it tomorrow. Ending roundup. Yes, we'll try that. So yes. Can't wait whether it's tomorrow or later. Yeah. If I've got the energy tomorrow, I'll probably try to do it tomorrow. If I don't have the energy tomorrow, I'll find a day, possibly next week, where we can do the final roundup of the chapters. I mean, it's probably not going to be very long. And we can skip all the way to chapter 4. That's apparently, yeah. It's only when you get to chapter 4 that there's like actual choices that change stuff. So yes, if I have the energy tomorrow after a thing I have to do, I'll probably try to do the roundup of the chapters. It's not going to be a long stream, but it might happen. Thursday though, I will for sure be back with some Monster Hunter stories too. So definitely come back for that if you want some of the experiences of beating and racing monsters on Friday. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, always happy to do so. Thank you. But yeah, on Friday I'll be back with some Monster Hunter World. We'll do somewhere hunting. And I'll figure out if I'm going to do anything about, like, I like World, I like hunting, but also like if there's an interest in something else, I'll be happy to share the Friday slot or some such if there's anything there. Now that Inky has gotten full Safi, I might consider not doing World on Safi weeks, and just do World on Kulv weeks. If Inky wants to join there, but I'll need to think about it. I might also just continue for a while longer. We are up to 45 world streams, which means another 7, and we'll be up to 52. So another 7 streams and we'll be up to 52. And there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in 9 or 10 weeks I'll have streamed World for like a year. So it's pretty exciting. So I might consider doing some other Monster Hunter at that point, or maybe I'll just continue. I'm plenty happy to continue. But yes, Saturday I will not be here streaming because I've got hopefully got prior arrangements with my Pathfinder group, and Sunday I'll be back for some Dragon Age Origins. So do check in for that. But I don't think I have anything else to add. In about an hour and 40 minutes, I want to say. Oh, 3 hours and 40 minutes. In about 3 hours and 40 minutes, Inkatatis will be streaming some more Psychonauts. So if that's interesting to you, do go check him out. I don't have much of anything else to add, so I'll just thank you all for coming out tonight. It's always a joy and a pleasure to see you. And if you have any suggestions for games, put them in the comments. Suggest them while I'm streaming. Tweet them at me, message me on Discord or something else, and take very good care of yourselves. And until next time, I'll catch you all later. Bye, you know.